Hey everybody. Oh wow, there's no light moves. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Chasing sunlight. All right. So, good morning. As you can see, I'm in a different place. I am not going to be doing this as frequently this week. I am working on nothing actually, which is nice. All right. So, I'm testing this out to see how this all plays out. See how the audio sounds. I don't have my regular setup, but I'm still going to try and talk about things as I move forward. This one's going to be pretty short today, mainly because I'm just figuring things out in my new location for now. I think the lighting is going to be interesting. As you can see, there's that light right there. Yeah. So, but they said outdoor light's good, but this looks actually pretty decent except for that flash. Anyway, love doing production stuff, playing with stuff. Been playing with code. Uh, Playing with code, really kind of interesting doing that again and figuring things out. I was playing with Firebase. I was playing with authentication, setting up Firestore. And there's a great tutorial on Google about setting up Firebase and Firestore. And I was like, all right, so there's a tutorial that takes you all the way through to set up authentication, set up cloud storage, set up Firestore to actually write things. It's a restaurant app, really simple. It's really nice. But one of the things, like I've seen on most tutorials, it drives me nuts is on that tutorial, what you see, you clone this repo and 99% of the code is done. And I'm like, that's not helping me learn anything. That wouldn't help anyone learn anything. It's, hey, can you copy and paste somebody else's code? And if the answer is yes, then great. You now know Firebase, which is a lot. Uh, you literally have to set up your environment variables and it shows you how to go through the Firebase console. Once you do that, you literally cut and paste 3 functions and the entire app is done. It doesn't show you how to create your folder structure because it's already done. It doesn't show you how to create a successful component. It doesn't show you how to do step by step of limits. Like I said, most of the tutorials that I've seen recently, and I've gone through, I love going through tutorials. It helps me figure things out. Also, it helps me because I definitely provide feedback. I'll provide feedback for those tutorials, and when I provide that feedback, I tell them this is garbage. You're not teaching anything. You're showing people how to copy and paste code. What are they supposed to get out of this? Could you go through and actually trace the code and see what it's doing and going through all that? Of course you could. But that's not what a tutorial is supposed to be. A tutorial is supposed to tutor you through the process, not click here, paste. They're like, oh my gosh, I got it up and running. I'm an engineer now. A bunch of garbage. Uh, I get I get really passionate about teaching. I love teaching people things, and I love when they ask questions because the questions they're going to ask I haven't planned for. And by doing that, I learned so much more about what I'm actually teaching. Because sure, I can go through it 15 times and I'll do it. I'll get better every time I do it, hopefully. And then after I do that, the next thing I'll realize is I will teach it. And once I teach it and I get that one student who tries something I would never have thought of. Like, my terminal isn't working. What do you mean your terminal isn't working? Do you know how to launch your terminal? Like you take things for granted when you do a tutorial multiple times. Then when you teach it, you learn so much more. So I'm gonna actually go through a Firebase tutorial. There's like 3 of them that I've been playing with, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go through a bunch of Firebase tutorials. And once I do that, then I'll figure out, I was like, okay, this one does this one does that design. I can talk about CSS forever. Love CSS, huge fan. However, I want to make sure that when I'm teaching something, I'm actually taking you through what I wanted to teach you. And I'm not going to have you copy and paste a bunch of code. I want you to be able to figure things out on your own, right? Because the only way you actually get better at something is by figuring things out on your own. I can I can handhold you and take you step by step through everything, but you won't retain that. You'll just come back to me a week later and going, "Hey, remember last week when we went through this?" Yeah, I do, but you don't. And that's the problem. Uh, I love I love teaching, and I love when people have that light bulb moment. And a lot of people ask, they're like, "What's the one thing you really enjoy about your job?" And actually, my current job is pretty amazing because not only do I get to write code and I get to actually help people in their careers, I get to teach. Like, I'll do like a quarterly hackathon or a quarterly. I did a Python class, and for the non-technical people, I'm not just teaching engineers, I teach other people. And having that opportunity with the balance of that and code, huh, it's like my dream, right? So very grateful for that. Anyway, love to write code, love to teach code, and like the basics. Like everyone overcomplicates things with so many different frameworks. They're like, all right, we're going to do Angular. All right, we're going to do React. Oh, we're going to do Vue. Okay, you can do all of those wonderful components and you can build on top of all of those frameworks. Uh, and it does make things easier in some cases. Like I think React has done a really good job. It's got a large adoption and great community. But you got to realize when you are adopting a framework, you are immediately creating a dependency on that framework. And let me give you a great example of that. Let's talk about Angular. So I was on Angular 1.0. I was like, okay, let's try this framework. It's got to be good. Google created it. I'm a big fan. Set up everything, had it all running. It was like, oh, wow, cool components. Hey, this is nice. And then Angular 2.0 came out. Hold on one sec. I'll be right back. All right. So then Angular 2.0 came out. And what happened in Angular 2.0? They deprecated almost everything in Angular 1.0. So you had to rewrite everything. I was like, okay, it happens. They were figuring things out. I'll get on board. So then I went to 2.0, migrated my entire framework, my entire website, and cleaned all of that up. Then Angular 6 came out. What? What happened to 3, 4, and 5? I don't know. They were, and basically 6 changed so much from 2. Was there a 3, 4, and 5 Angular? Maybe. I don't even remember. But going from 2 to 6, they deprecated a bunch. I was like, I'm done. Like, if you're going to build a framework and make sure that there's parts of it that are backwards compatible. And make sure that if you're going to do those kind of large jumps with breaking changes, you got to do them gradually. You can't just do them all. I mean, you can do them all at once. Not recommended. Do them gradually. Help your users through that. Otherwise, you're going to lose a lot of your users. I use Next.js, big fan of Next.js, and in version 12, they were using the page router, and then in version 13, they moved to the app router, right? And they're two different routing mechanisms, two different code structures. But they showed you actually step by step on how to do migration, how to do a migration at a modular level. Like, you don't have to do everything. You can still keep some of your pages. You can use some of the new stuff. All your new stuff can be on the app router until you've migrated your entire code base over to app router. And that is a brilliant way to do it. You're not killing your client base. You're giving them step-by-step instructions on how to improve it and move to the new model. And you're showing how to do it in an incremental way rather than you have to delete everything and move everything to app router and then do a production build. And then that's just garbage, like truly garbage. Uh, that's not what Next.js did. It's great. You can actually do it progressively. I think I'm still on the page router on my site. Um, anyway, I'll figure that out. I will actually, let's do that now. I think, I don't know if this will actually work. Yeah, that doesn't work. I do not have a way. Okay, because I don't have my camera set up or anything. I don't have code, so I'm gonna play with some OBS, and maybe tomorrow I'll do some more stuff. But this is my daily. Um, if you think you're good at code, teach it and watch the kind of questions you'll get. It's really amazing. The people will ask questions that you haven't even thought of, and you'll learn so much more about what you're teaching. Anyway, that is all I had. Stuff and get this cleaned up and hopefully figure out some of these lighting issues. And I guess that's it for now. And I hope to see y'all tomorrow. But thanks for stopping by. I'll talk to y'all later. All right. Bye.